Hi there, Lynn Adams here from NAFSEA, the National Association for Professional Special Education Advocates. Thank you so much for signing up for this series of trainings. I hope that these are very helpful to you, and I hope that you take some time to look at our website and possibly join our organization. So let's begin. Training number 1, we're going to be talking about our concerns and evaluations. Special education is an entitlement under the law for our students that have disabilities and are eligible. So how do we find out if they're eligible? Well, usually what happens is we have some concerns about their development. And in this training, we're going to talk about how to address those concerns. What's the best way to get your child evaluated, what evaluations to ask for, and then, what happens next. So usually parents have concerns when their child's not learning, not making progress in the curriculum or in other areas. A child is having some maladaptive behaviors or negative behaviors. The child is failing academically, not making progress socially and emotionally. Maybe functionally, behaviorally, what they should be doing, in order to take care of themselves or to participate in the classroom or in home environment or community, they're not able to do. Or maybe they're not developing physically. Maybe they're not holding the pencil correctly. Maybe they're not able to write appropriately. Maybe they're not able to ride a bike yet, zipper their pants, pull up their shoes, tie their shoes. There's all kinds of different physical, and if the child has a physical disability, it's going to be impacted, even more. So, of course, the first step is to state your concerns and request evaluations. Now, I suggest, and it's very important, that you put these in writing and you submit them to the special education department. I always drop them off, get a copy with a date stamp so that I know that they've been received and I have record of it, because sometimes these things tend to get lost somehow. But make sure that you're very clear and state your concerns, exactly what they are. Request your evaluations and make sure that you have an understanding of what you're looking for. And you might not know the names of the evaluations, but you can definitely tell the school district, what areas of concern and what areas of development that you're concerned about. If it's academics, if it's social skills, if it's behavioral skills, those are all skills that can be evaluated. Under the law, you have the right to have your child evaluated in all areas related to the suspected disability. So those areas can include, obviously, educational areas, psychological areas, speech and language, occupational therapy, physical therapy, specific learning disability, such as a reading disability or math disability or writing disability, or many other areas that could be related. If you have a child with autism, for example, your child could have sensory integration issues, so you may have to have an OT with a sensory component. So make sure that you are very clear and, let the school district know what areas that you want to have your child evaluated. Now, the evaluation should examine all areas of the suspected disability and provide a detailed description of your child's needs. The evaluation should answer these questions. Does your child have a disability? And if so, what type? Under the law, there's different classifications for disabilities that the child must fall under. We're not going to get into those right now, but just know that they are certain ones. Does the disability cause the child to be unable to make progress effectively in regular education? Does the child require specially designed instruction to make progress, or does the child require a related service or services in order to access the curriculum? If these 3 questions are answered with yes answers, then your child should be eligible for special education. So the next steps, the school department sends home a consent form once you request the evaluations, and then you must sign the consent form. They cannot evaluate your child without your consent. Once you return the consent form, the timeline starts, okay? The school will then evaluate your child and schedule a meeting to discuss the results. The meeting is called a team meeting. The team convenes, discusses evaluation results. Team members provide input. Of course, the parent who knows their child best provides input and must be an integral part of this process. Schools will ask you, what are your biggest concerns and what do you hope to see your child accomplish? Make sure that your input is included. Don't let the team make decisions. You have an important part of this process. You know your child best. And if your child's old enough, 14, 15, 16 years old, and you feel is appropriate, they can participate and also have input. Extremely important. In the next training, we're going to talk about the team members and the team process. So we're just going to go over it briefly here. The team makes a determination about services and support, so they make a determination about eligibility based on the evaluations and based on the input and based on the criteria that we just talked about. Parent can accept or reject the team decision. So if the team determines that the child is ineligible, you can reject that ineligibility. If the team determines that your child is eligible, you can accept that, and then the team develops a plan or an IEP, an individualized education program for the student. So in summary, it's important that you have an understanding of what you're entitled to under special education laws and disability laws. It's important that you state your concerns in writing and that you get copies. It's important that you're involved, that you're part of this process. It's important that you try to request appropriate evaluations based on the student's disability or based on your concerns. And make sure that you know that you are the most important person at the table, okay? You are the most important person in this process. Here are some resources that are available, and I hope that this training has been helpful. Of course, like I said, we will have more trainings coming up. You will be getting them within the next few days in your email. But take some time and look through the NAPSIA website. It's www.napsia.com, this one right here. And join. We have free options for joining. And we have lots of other training opportunities available at, at cost, but like I said, these are completely free, so I hope that you get some good information out of these trainings, and I will see you next time. Thank you.